right, then. I am Citizen Jones. Good morning, welcome. You know, in Christendom, specifically in Catholicism, it's the Passion Week where we talk about the 14 stages or sessions of the cross. So, as you await Easter, may the God of Easter bless all you may think about now and tomorrow. Okay, then. The Ombudsman this morning is talking about Lagos, the mega city fantasies, the nightmares and the threats mount. Well, 5 of the mega or biggest cities in the world include Tokyo, the world's largest metropolitan region, Manila, the Earth's most densely populated city in the world, Nauru, a tiny island country in Micronesia near Australia, also the most overweight city in the world, and Shanghai, the most populated metropolis on the planet. You do have Laricon, the Earth's highest city. So conversely, 5 cities that enjoy the mega status in Africa are Cairo, Egypt's capital city, Accra, the capital of Ghana, Pretoria in South Africa, Nairobi in Kenya, and Brazzaville, the capital city of Congo Democratic Republic, not Democratic Republic of Congo. Our Lagos ranks a distant 6th city. No attempt is made at deriding or being contemptuous of her, except that as a potential megacity, Lagos, a state in Nigeria with 20-something million inhabitants, good old Lagos holds the potential dream of assuming the megacity status. And why not? The dream or fantasy of transforming our Lagos into a mega one gained traction in the Babatunde Fashola years at the helm. We had, and more than have today, a population tipping the scales at over 15 million people. The basic characteristics of a megacity are: 1, an adequate supply of fresh water. Well, Lagos cannot boast of that just yet. 2, a coastal region which makes for easy trade and therefore employment. Lagos may boast a shoreline, but comes short of employment. 3, a large area of flat land suitable for building. Well, our Lagos is a flat land, but government officials have muddled up building plans and stuff. Corruption and other sharp practices characterize building plans and approvals, which should never be. 4, that's the 4th characteristic of a megacity, our security around a megacity. It is top-notch. Security in Lagos is one of the concerns to many people. There is the ease of doing business, that's one we agree. But in Lagos, the ease of doing business is tied to security of lives and property. Again, to be termed a megacity, Lagos has to be ready to do away with middlemen of every description, touting or area boyism, cultism, and every negative isms must, as of necessity, be expunged if Lagos is to assume the megacity status. A repeat for the rule of law is one desideratum for a megacity. Yes, a law has been passed making it punishable by a term of imprisonment, 21 years, I think, for cultism. We wait for the first conviction. I know for a fact that riding and driving against traffic attract punitive measures too, but this law is broken by the second as I speak. Yes, Lagos can achieve the megacity fantasy she's pushing, but she lacks the will to go the whole hog, or what they say, when people say go for broke. We create the impression that you can break laws in this Lagos of ours and go scot-free. And truck pushers move freely on highways and against oncoming traffic. There is a law barring that, yet it continues unabated in Lagos. Do you have room for this in a megacity? No, sir. No, sir. Lagos can be a megacity if it imbibes all the laws we talked about. And that's the Ombudsman this morning. Good morning. All right, then, let's go to our big talk for this morning. Rotational Presidency. General Gowon's magic bullet for a brutalized politics. Rotational Presidency. General Gowon's magic bullet for our brutalized politics. You know, the setting was appropriate, the crowd was proper, and the message possibly timely. Retired General Yakubu Gowon, a retired second head of state in our country, but a doctorate degree holder of political science, canvassed his magic formula, or if you like, magic bullet for our brutalized politics the other day. Old boys of the famed Barewa College, Kaduna, met for the centenary of the school. The school is 100 years old, and they deemed it fit for the former head of state to deliver the keynote address on the occasion. Again, why not? The suave but retired 86-year-old soldier said, one answer to a troubled federation which had not been tried was rotational presidency. According to him, rotating the seat of president amongst the six political zones on a turn-by-turn basis and also switching the position of governor on a sectorial, senatorial seat district basis may cure our political squabbles, at least in the foreseeable future. As a political scientist, the retired general has spoken, but does it always work out that way? I think there's a difference between a political scientist and a politician. I have this morning two gentlemen to bridge the subject matter. The first is a gentleman who is inside the studio here. Akin Fatunke is, by definition, a chartered accountant and also doubles as a national affairs analyst. I greet you, Mr. Fatunke, I greet you. I was going to say doctor. Go for it.
Thank you very much, Citizen Jones. And good morning, Nigerians and friends of Nigeria. It's nice to be here.
All right. We also have the doctor then, Dr. Austin Nweze. He's an academic doctorate degree holder. He's a journalism scholar. He's a politician. He's an economist, a public affairs consultant. Dr. Nweze, I greet you too. Dr. Nweze, are you there? Okay, Dr. Nweze is in faraway Ebonyi State. I guess we can, by means of the telephone, get to talk with him. Morning one more time. Okay, we'll get Dr. Nweze to talk properly with us. But how does Fatunke open? Please don't forget, this is a little something we think we should make noise about. Rotational presidency. General Gowon is preaching that.
Yes, Citizen Jones, thank you very much. And again, one of those things that has always resurfaced about our federation in Nigeria is our quest for nationhood. Since 1914 up till now, are we capable of ruling ourselves? Are we capable of ensuring we deliver what we call governance to Nigerians?
Sorry, let me welcome Dr. Nweze formally. Dr. Nweze, I greet you. Welcome to the radio. Hello, Dr. Nweze, are you there? Okay. We'll still try to get him. Yeah. Go on.
Yes, I'm sure Dr. Nweze will join us after the glitches. So it's been long in coming, and chicken coming home to roost. What the revered general is suggesting is not necessarily new. I know for a fact that in the through on to the 1994 constitutional, national conference under Abacha, which he approved.
Hello.
And
Yeah, Dr. Nweze, I think he's ready for us. Dr. Nweze, good morning. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Okay, we're still at. I'm sorry, we had to
That's okay.
to barge in on what you were saying.
That's okay. The 1994-95 Constitutional Conference that battered Decree number 3 of 1994 was approved that presidency should rotate between the North and the South. What that eventually did not do was that the 1999 Constitution...
Sorry, looks like he's here now.
Okay.
Dr. Nweze, good morning to you.
Yeah, morning.
I'm sorry we muddled up things from
Okay.
this.
No problem.
Everything is okay now. We can talk with you. Good morning to you.
Yeah, morning.
Yeah, Fatunke is on at the moment, so let's listen to him out.
Okay.
Yes. Welcome, Dr. Nweze. And so that decree number 3 of 1994 fell short of the 1999 Constitution as amended to put it in the Constitution that, yeah, we should continue to rotate presidency. Just try to trace the history back.
Yeah.
And I believe Nigerians...
So it's not a completely new...
Oh, absolutely not new.
We've been there before.
Oh, we were going there.
Okay.
Except that, as usual with us in Nigeria, we are good at putting in the theories, practicalizing whatever strategy that we have.
Yeah.
Never.
So a political theorist and a politician are two different shades of people.
Two different shades of people, as we are eventually going to find. Now, what happened is that the late Dr. Ekweme eventually came up with, the idea that we should have 6 geopolitical zones, and so that heightened the quest that representation should be equal and equitable
and equal and opposite.
We have been grappling with that, and with the advent, if Nigerians will also remember, Yaradua and Goodluck Jonathan, doctrine of necessity. It was going to be a turn, and if you don't run a turn, Nigeria was not going to be at peace. Was going to be as a war, and it went on and on and on and on. Now, today we have a situation where, auspiciously, we have 3 planks. Insecurity is number 1. We have injustice, and then we have inequality. The top plank of inequality is the one that the whole of Nigeria is talking about. Are we balancing? Are we balancing, political positions? Are we doing what we need to do? And that has continually brought in a lot of tension, more than ever before, as we face today.
Now, let's hear how Dr. Nweze will open his account here. Good morning again.
Yeah, morning, Citizen Jones. Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Akin. Good to hear from you again.
Yeah, good morning, Austin. Welcome.
Yeah. Well, my opening salve with Jones is that it's a good idea, and I would say that it's an idea whose time has come, and also, but the carrier of the news is has some question marks for me.
Can we leave the message? Consider the message. That's what we're looking at. More the message.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That in 2014, during the national conference or so, that was my submission. A group that I represented. Well, that was my submission to the National Assembly on behalf of a group, and that look. We need to have, I call it, collegiate system of government.
Collegiate system.
Yes. Where you have 6 people from each zone, 1 from each zone. They will decide if, for instance, APC is presenting a presidential candidate, they will present 6 people.
No, hold on. Gowon is saying that it should be on the basis of the six geopolitical zones, running a turn-by-turn thing. Otherwise, if the president comes from the northeast, specifically from Yobe, he should have 2 deputy presidents, one from another part of the northeast and still another from the president's particular zone, particular state.
No. That's where I differ from him, because
Okay.
yes, that's where I differ, because mine is that, look, we have one person, 6 people for a 6-year tenure, not more than 6 years.
Yeah, okay. Just
Yeah.
one term of 6 years.
Yeah, one term of 6 years.
Okay.
Then within the period, each year, each person will now be president. Others will be ministers. We don't need ministers anymore. These 5 people can run the ministry. All the ministry, federal ministry, all this one we have 40-something ministers and all that. Will no longer be there. That's savings for the country. Okay? So by the time we do that, no region, within 6 years, we said that they did not have a president. All this clamor will end.
So
That's where
also the other 5 will wait.
No, the other 5, yeah, each year they'll move on. They'll all have a plan for themselves. This is what we want to accomplish within 6 years. They will agree. And they will take turn. They will take turn, to be, okay, this one is president, others will become ministers. The next year, the one that is president this year will become a minister. Another person will take over. But they are accomplishing one thing. From each zone, you have 6 people from each zone representing. So the election and all that will be, who will represent the other people. So we cultivate a system that is homegrown, something that we can rely on. Look at all these rotational things, and then go to governors. The same thing happens.
Gowon says for governorship, it should be on a
sectorial.
Senatorial zone.
Senatorial.
Zone by zone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Since there are 3
Senatorial zone,
senators.
that's the same. Yeah, the same idea, but all the 3 zones will also represent at the same time, and the term of 6 years, so that each one, no time that somebody from each zone will not be governor or something. And then the National Assembly, the same thing, they will contribute. Each zone will contribute maybe 1 or 2 people that will go and represent and all that. And a unitary kind of,
System.
I don't know, is it unitary or so, but
Yeah.
one National Assembly, not a bifocal, unifocal, right?
Yeah. Unicameral.
Not a bifocal, yeah, not a bifocal National Assembly,
Yeah.
but a unifocal, where you have
what we mean by unicameral system.
yeah, unicameral, sorry.
Yeah.
Unicameral, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Thank you very much, Jones. I was looking for that word.
Okay.
Yeah, unicameral. And, about 36 people to run our National Assembly. That's all.
Okay.
So we see savings in cost of, running the government and all that. And nobody will query, we have not produced any president, that within 6 years, all the zones have produced presidents. So that we can run the country the way it is. I'm happy that this rotational thing is moving around, and we seem to, even though it's not in the Constitution, that we seem to, be comfortable with that.
Yeah,
So,
my brother, Dr. Austin, I see where you are coming from, and then
Perhaps where he is going.
I see where he is right now, and we must get out together. Austin, anytime, any day, in a strategy class, we always want to espouse what is put in there. However, between the utopia, that is where we are going, and where we are at, is a reality of the fact that for us to get there, we will need constitutional amendments, we will need to change the constitution.
yeah,
and
that's
we
the
have
starting point.
we
Yeah,
have
that's the starting point.
yes, Austin, but that again is my problem, because I have been close to listening to debates at the hollow chambers of our National Assembly, and I have regrettably found that we do not have a common ethos. We do not have
A national
What?
dream. A national dream.
a national agreement or a vision by all sections of Nigeria that will be looking at core values, which should be the same across board, that should be looking at meritocracy, which should, I mean, there is no way you can whitewash
you can't
that.
compromise that.
And where we are going to be looking at pragmatic ideas, accountability, real governance as the way it should be, and the TQM, the TQM, the quality management. Unfortunately, there are sections who see this same vision in different directions. And so if you are now going to sit down and say, yes, let's agree, just like Dr. Austin Weke is saying, and I agree with him in principle, you will continue to have to wait for Godot. Now, our coat of arms, which we all agree is peace, and unity and
peace
faith.
And progress.
Peace and progress.
Yeah.
Now, all this is not happening because of this inequality. And I can see where General Gowon is coming from in saying, all right, pending the time that we are going to get a consensus in amending the Constitution in a way that we all must be seeing the same vision, let's institute a situation even within this highly cost inefficient system that we are running, because it's true, highly cost inefficient, and I agree with you, Dr. Austin, highly cost inefficient system where we have 774 local governments, and we have 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, and we have representations, senators and National Assembly, for which you have more than at any point in time. I've never seen a point in time where over 70% of those who are representing us are even saying anything.
Akin, almost every other Nigerian has his dream country, his country of alternative reality. But making it work is the problem. Dr. Nweze.
Dr. Nweze, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I think that, Jones, that's the point. How do we make it work? First of all, there has to be a roundtable consensus, a discussion on what we want to have a common dream. Okay? Because you cannot come
yeah, Dr. Nweze, earlier on you talked about conferences. We have had 10 of them. We have had 10 reports, and we have done nothing with them. Do we need these conferences at all?
No, we can say, okay, let's harmonize all the ideas from the conferences, and then come up with something that we say, okay, this is Nigeria's dream, because we have to have Nigerian dream first of all.
Okay, we had a 2014 national conference, which I know amalgamated quite a number of the other conferences that we had, and it was a document which
800 page.
I had
800 page.
I had
document.
during political hustlings that Nigeria was going to restructure, for instance, when APC was coming in, and thereafter we've seen a lot of breaches. Now the national conference is now being placed in the cooler. Now, what this therefore is saying, which I think I agree with General Gowon, is that the political actors of Nigeria are there for their own, what I would describe as relative selfish interest.
What Karl Marx, Dr. Nweze, what Karl Marx and his cousin Engels meant when they talked about the class warfare, right?
And
yeah,
a person gets in there, and then he festers the nest of either his clan or his religion.
Hold on. What we meant by class warfare?
Yes, because there is this class warfare going on, and the feudalists and the Republicans and the Democrats there's a clash of who gets the upper hand and stuff like that. But the point is that we can forget our self-interest and focus on national interest by defining what is Nigeria's national interest, and how can our own personal interest be subsumed under the national interest. That's the way forward. Until we are able to get that, then we'll be able to agree on what the national ethos should be, and then build every other thing around it. Then the Constitution will be okay, the constitution will be either rewritten or amended, but I prefer a situation where there will be a major overhaul of the constitution.
Yeah, Dr. Nweze, Dr.
Yes.
Nweze, after 10, please underline, after 10 conferences, we still are floundering. That's my trouble.
Yes, because we are putting our either self-interest, regional interest, or group interest above the national interest. Once we are able to remove all these various interests and focus on national interest, just like other nations have done, then we'll be able to accomplish all of that. Okay,
So we think, sorry, a presidency on a rotational basis is the answer to all this wahala, man-made troubles in our country.
It's already, we are practicing it. Everybody is preaching it. In all the local government, in all the communities, it's all about rotation.
Yeah.
It's all about rotational,
Yeah, Dr. Austin. Yeah, we are practicing it, but it's not in the Constitution.
It's not in the Constitution.
All we need
And because it's not in the Constitution, people
we
mount
can now
it.
put it in the Constitution.
Okay.
How do you put it?
No, by crashing the Constitution, the 1999 Constitution we have right now, and put it there. That's all. That's what everybody's struggling for, clamoring for. Let there be a new Constitution, not the one that the military handed over to us, that will say, yeah, this is we the people. Then let Nigerians participate. And they're shying away from it.
Okay.
Until we get that right. Okay? Until we get that right. First of all, having a Nigerian dream, knowing what interests other different sections of the country.
All right, let me come in here. The listener will take his time from us. It's 9:28 in the city of Lagos, and the radio station is Radio Now, 95.3 FM, Lagos, in central Lagos. And I am Citizen Jones, and the big talk for the morning, Rotational Presidency, General Gowon's magic bullet for our brutalized politics. And the guests remain Akin Fatunke, Chartered Accountant, National Affairs Analyst, and Dr. Austin Nweze, journalism scholar, politician, economist, public affairs consultant. Dr. Nweze, you are a politician in the mix in all of this.
Yes.
So you think a rotational presidency is the answer, and that you except for a few amendments, Gowon is right.
It is the answer. There's no harm in trying it out. But let us not be afraid of trying it out, because one is that, for instance, my interest of contesting the governorship of my state is now in hanging somewhere, because the current governor is from my own zone. You know, so
it precludes you from running for office of governor.
Yeah, because in the same party, but I can run in another party.
But that's politics.
Yeah, because
that's cross-carpeting, Dr. Austin. That's cross-carpeting.
Yeah, if I'm running in the same party, I will not be able to run because the current governor is from my place. But I can join another party and run.
So what happens to the relationship between you and your governor?
No, you see, because that is if I want to run. But if the governor, if I see, the governor, I cannot do anything, because of my relationship with him. I have to, do whatever is pleasing.
You are towing the line.
Yes.
You are playing safe. You are playing safe.
Yes, Austin, except that even if you did that, I know it is possible. The tension within your state is not abated because...
By the way, his state is Ebonyi.
Ebonyi, yes. The other senatorial zones will still say, oh, yeah, it was Umahi from that senatorial zone, and then you are going to another party, going to that other senatorial
from
zone. From the same zone, and then it will also now...
The rancor continues.
The rancor will continue. Now, but let me up it a little bit. You cannot do anything. I agree with General Gowon. I agree that for the sake of balance and for the sake of sanity, we should have rotational presidency. How big that if we are going to do that, meritocracy even within the different zones that are covered, there's going to be a lot of competition, and we should be able to bring out our best. That's one. Now,
sorry, let him answer because he's not here. Dr. Nweze, meritocracy and the rotational thing.
The two go together. The two go together because when you are doing rotational presidency, you have to select the best from your own area, region. You know, the two go together. You can't leave one and it's not either or. The two go together.
Okay.
Because you have to bring out the best in you, and then the process of selecting the best, you know, is also a challenge, and
best here is relative.
Well, yeah, because one is that there must be a minimum. Okay, for instance, I was reading something about some of these developed countries, the U.S., Canada, and all these people, and even Singapore, is the best that work with government. Singapore, it was a policy that only the best people will work with government.
The best is determined
in terms of academic intelligence and native intelligence.
Okay, that's the best in your estimation. Okay.
Yeah, whom they qualify as the best.
Where we have a country that's prone to certificate forgery and all that, we still go for the best.
Because that's the thing. That's the thing, because one, at least the person must be educated. The best in the sense that, like these days, because of certificate forgery and all that, one has to, when you set up a good process that can select the right candidate, there must be what makes them the best in terms of native intelligence, in terms of academic intelligence, because if you base it on the results and all that, sometimes people may be in a bad mood, they may not do well in exams and all that. You find good candidates not doing well in exams. So all these processes must be put in place to make sure that the best which is in relative terms, are selected to represent us, especially those that have the national interest at heart. It's very, very important, because if you put the best and the person is so selfish, in the personal value system is very, very key. That determines whatever anybody becomes in life.
All right.
Personal value system. That is the major thing that should be considered.
Okay. Okay, Dr. Nweze, Akin, but this best,
process
best thing
of choosing the best
is acrimonious in this country. So how do you balance that?
Not only acrimonious, where in other climes this just goes on seamlessly without hitches. When it comes to Nigeria, it becomes an issue. Now, for me, in choosing the best means I must be able to compete if I belong to Region A with relatively the person that's coming from Region B and Region C and the other and 6 regions now. Yeah. The Chinese model solves it for me. In the Chinese model, you so compete so effectively. You go back to the UK system, you go back to the US, you cannot say, for instance, you want to be the president of those countries without you having gone through the Ivy League schools.
No, just a minute. I know things are changing.
Yes.
Winston Churchill, Dr. Nweze, Winston Churchill was supposed to be the best Englishman of them all, but he was not lettered. Are you saying that the world has moved from Winston Churchill to who now?
Well, the world has now moved
to Zuckerberg.
Well, the world has now moved into people with the correct emotional intelligence.
Dr. Nweze,
we need to understand that in Nigeria, we are still undergoing some certificate issues. That if you don't have a certificate, you need to look at our environment. But that environment will soon be changing. When companies when they begin to hire people for what they can do rather than the certificate they have, So until then, but for now, we need to get at least a minimum of university degree. So that because, what I've been studying the
Dr.
presidential
Nweze,
character
if
for
you
years.
insist on a university degree for somebody to assume the office of president, they'll give you that degree. I hope you know.
No, they will. They will. The whole idea.
And
the
even
whole
when
idea
you
is-
pick holes, with the degree, they'll counter this picking of holes, right?
Yeah. What I'm saying is that knowing the environment we're in, because otherwise the president will have he will not, credibility is an issue.
Yeah.
If he's not a graduate,
Yeah.
we will say, okay, you're not even a graduate, and you have people working with you. So I'm saying that we have a minimum of a university degree to start with,
Okay.
and then
So
other
who
people,
writes that law? The National Assembly.
the National Assembly, yes, and even National Assembly, any office, like Akin mentioned the Chinese model, because in China there's a school that if you must become anything, work with government, or become anything in government, there's a school that you have to go through, an institution that you have to go through, to become a councillor in local government and all that. Because what it does is to shape your thinking, shape your character, so that you begin to put the state first. Now, the NIPS of Jaws could have done it for us, but everything is politicized. Okay? So we have that institution that everybody, if you must contest even councillorship, you must go through that. And then that is to shape your mind, shape your thinking. All you learn about is about Nigeria, about the constitution, about the way of life of the people, about, everything governance.
Austin, I was making a point about emotional intelligence because at the end of the day, yes, certification, okay, basic, that is the root. Then move on to the leaves to be able to get the fruits. What is your capacity and your competence? And because it is that competence at the end of the day,
And not the degree. Or plus the degree.
Plus the degree.
My trouble is determining who accentuates your degree.
Okay, well, our educational institutions needs to be overhauled. There's absolutely no doubt about that. We need to get...
So that's going back to the drawing board.
Yes, we need to get civics into understanding the fact that, we have different religions, different races, and we need to be able to balance. I do not see any reason why...
Has there been any American president, any British prime minister, or any president in Germany and all that's not a graduate? No.
Yeah, we are agreeing that is that is the starting point, and I said plus.
Yeah. Even
it has to be
Germany,
starting plus.
Hold on, please. Even in Germany, for you to become, work with government and become you have to, read some courses, sociology, psychology, and these are courses that are very, very important because human behavior.
Yes, I'm agreeing with you, Austin, except that the only challenge there is that we've had people in this part of the world that have been certificated. They have PhDs, they have they are professors, and yet they have still, for whatever reason, failed.
Falling short.
They're falling short. So my point, and that's the reason why I use the word emotional intelligence. We must make you understand that...
emotional intelligence, I agree. And then the personal value system.
We must... Okay, what is it, for instance?
Okay, but Dr. Nweze has talked about value system. But we'll come to that just to let the listener know it's 20 minutes to 10, and we're looking at rotational presidency, which is what General Gowon, retired, posited as a magic bullet for our brutalized politics, and the two gentlemen broaching the subject matter remain Akin Fatunke and Dr. Austin Nweze. Let's bring in the listener. If you want to be a part of this discourse, why not? Join us 090-1111-1953, 090-1111-1953, and 0809-222-2953. That's 0809-222-2953. Let's get you talking. Rotational presidency. Is that the magic bullet for our brutalized politics? Yeah, Dr. Nweze.
Yeah. So I'm saying that personal value system.
So we have a call, so we'll take it. Just a minute. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Citizen Jones.
I greet you, sir. Welcome. Your name, where you're calling from?
My name is Wildlife, and I greet your guest.
Thank you.
I think the silver bullet is what General Gowon has just recommended. And it also agrees with what is in our Constitution, Section 14.2, which talks about federal character. I think it's a form of federal character, so that there will be national unity and national loyalty. Because as we can see now, some parts of this country feel marginalized in everything, including the presidency. And you know the section of the country I'm talking about. That looks like perpetually they are not given the opportunity to aspire because they accuse them of this and that. And those people are now opting out to say, look, if you can't allow us to attain the highest position in the land, then we want to be out. We want to be out of Nigeria.
Okay.
I think if collectively we agree, as we did in 1999, that a particular section of the country should aspire, and we make all the necessary arrangements for that to happen to this section of the country that I'm talking about now.
Yeah.
We'll have less of this acrimony that we're having today.
Thank you very
So
kindly.
I agree with what General Gowon has suggested. Thank you very much.
Many thanks. Yeah, Austin, what do you make of Wari Laifa's comment?
Well, it's you can't take away from the truth, neither can you add to it. So by the time we push this, and I would recommend Jones that this shouldn't be the last discussion on this subject matter.
It shouldn't be. Let me take another call. Let me take another call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Citizen Jones.
Yes, sir. Your name, where you calling from?
Moses from Misolo.
All right, you are on.
The God of the Passion Week from Citizen Jones. Anyway, look, I was discussing with some literature students over the weekend, and we talked of literary devices, irony, whatever. It's always an irony that when they're out of power, that is when they see clearest. That's when they give the best of advice. And among those kids, they said something like, the started switching is irony, is ironic. I don't believe him. I don't believe him. Sorry.
You don't believe Gowon's
I don't believe him. Just
magic bullet?
I don't believe him. Austin said it very earlier about the messenger and the message. The messenger is not sincere. Thank you.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
For me, I would say, my dear Moses from Isolo, if we throw away baby with bathwater, we'll get nowhere. The tension is already brewing.
The message will go too.
Now, what
Go on.
Wari
Laifa. Let me take another call. Hello, good morning, sir.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yeah.
I greet all of you. I thank you for the education.
Okay, we're trying our best. Go on. Your name, where you're calling from?
I am Jimo Akin. I'm calling from Nweze.
Jimo, you're on.
Now, going by what General Gowon suggested, if a zone has their candidate at the helm of affairs, and the candidate is misbehaving, so the other zone can as well wait and say, okay, we wait for our turn. When it gets our turn, we'll do as we like. I don't agree with that.
Maybe not. That's not what he's saying. There'll be a sense of inclusion according to him. You'll accommodate all these 5 other segments if you play this card turn by turn.
Then 8 multiplied by 6, that's 42. Or 6 by 6, that's 36. We're talking of a minimum of 36 years.
Here we go again. Oh.
So we're talking of a minimum of 36 years or 42 years before it can get to whoever is there now or whoever was there last time. I think what we should do
Jim Akano, you are the one acting up the mathematics. That's not on our cards there this morning.
We are in a knowledge economy, and speed is one of the characteristics of knowledge economy. and everyone wants things done.
Doc, let's take this is the time for the listener to call. The call is here.
Okay.
Good morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good morning. Your name, where you're calling from?
Yes, my name is Oluwafemi, and I'm calling from Apapa.
All right, Femi.
So I don't support this this system really. I believe that the right man for the job can come from anywhere. You know, I know that you want to put up the argument that a part of the country has been quote unquote marginalized, but in all fairness, you know, we need the right man for the job. You know,
it doesn't matter where he comes from.
It doesn't matter where.
You don't believe in this turn by turn arrangement, do you?
That is what brought us here at the first place. Turn by turn, like that is what brought us here. I am a very young person, you know. I only read and got to get these things from my parents and a lot of older friends. That is what brought us here, sir. Am I wrong?
Okay, thank you very kindly. Dr. Nweze and Akin, the problem will be the right man for the job.
Yeah, you call it, we call it turn by turn, rotational. I call it, you know, because I've restructured my mind, which is where to start from, I'll call it merit by merit rotation.
Dr. Nweze.
So we must look at it from that angle.
Dr. Nweze, turn by turn or the right man for the job?
No, it's because you need to look at the environment. We have not grown to say right man for the job. And what we are doing now is turn by turn because, because that's what the people want, so that you can get, to get around to the people until we emerge. In the longer term, we can now say, okay, whoever that is qualified for the job, let him go. Even if the right person qualified for the job,
my trouble is, who determines that? The right man for the job.
And that's the point I'm making about making sure we are all restructured. Look, in the football team, we know one another. We know who is good. We know who should be captain. Okay? Not necessarily because he's older or he comes from a particular region or he comes from here and there. We all know when we see merit in the others. Yeah. And we must have to be able to help promote that merit from the other. Now, please, Citizen Jones, Warila Efa made a statement. And we need to be very careful and make sure we listen to what he's saying. Now, at what point in time do we begin this merit by merit? When a section of the country feels marginalized, and we'll never be able to now then see that even if you got the best from some other sections, we should have the political will to do the right thing and say section, please can we concede to them for now?
Let me put you on the spot. In America, they have two prominent parties, the Democrats and the Republicans. In Nigeria, you could say same. And Dr. Nweze, you agree that the difference between the APC and the PDP, the difference is the same?
Yeah,
the difference is 6 and
the Republican and Democrat. The only thing is that the Republicans say, okay, give tax breaks to the rich so that they can expand their business and employ the poor. Then the Democrats said, look, give tax breaks to the poor so that they can, inequality and all that, they can grow and reduce their poverty.
In other words, they have ideologies. In Nigeria, we do not have ideologies. And you are making a point, Dr. Austin. You are saying the world has gone knowledge-based. The world, leaving Nigeria behind. But what we have is religion.
You're playing catch-up.
Are we catching up or we are going backwards? We are looking at religion. We are looking at clan. The whole world is going, robotics. We are looking at herdsmen and,
kidnappers
and that's what we are looking at. That's what we are all facing. My point is simple, and I'm going to be talking about Jody Picoult. In his book titled Small and Great Thing, he noted that equality is treating everyone the same, but equity is taking differences into account so that everyone has a chance to participate. let's start this whole process by restructuring our minds.
How do you start that?
One of them is the fact that I do not see any reason why a woman cannot be president of Nigeria.
I don't see any reason.
Okay, so I do not see any reason why I should not see the very best. I always say
at the top.
I school in the north. I am from the southwest. I've seen a couple of people from that part of the country, great minds, great souls. They are scared of coming into politics because they say politics is just take it and take all.
Is it true that politics would make a straight man become bended?
Very, very well. Politics. There's a difference between politics and politics.
Okay. We have Austin Nweze.
Yeah,
Dr. Nweze, Akin never told you he ran for presidency of the Old Boys Association of my school. They became rancorous, but it was sorted at the end of the day. The issue of who did Akin score good at the school said blah 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 blah. I said if you wanted to have your DNA, say you want to be head of your village, start from there.
And
the way we used to select leaders in those days, and most of them used to be headmasters and all that. We can take our own community process of selecting leaders. Not that now it is politicized. It's been maybe more difficult now than it used to be in the past. We know ourselves. From that community level, we choose the right people that can, represent us. And we push them forward, knowing that when the person gets there, he takes care of every one of us. Okay? So, but what makes a situation more rancorous, when they know that when you get there, you become so selfish, you don't care about anybody and all that.
Whether or not you had all the degrees on the planet.
Yeah. So,
and that's supposed to be, an educational institution, and where people now ask you, what do you have for us? Not necessarily, what do we all contribute to make sure we have and meet that vision? You understand the point I'm making? And it becomes a thing. For me, I go back and say, we restructure our mind. We make sure that we have a very open mind and pursue knowledge economy, not all this, the prebendal that we are looking at.
Prebendalists, you have all?
I will tell you so many things. In that election, we adopted electronic voting. All our people all over the world. Yeah. It was tested. It went on. So why will Nigeria now be saying it's not possible?
E-voting is one way out.
Oh, for inclusivity.
In addition to rotation, turn by turn. Dr. Nweze, how do you close? Let's begin now.
Okay. In closing, Jones, I think like I can keep mentioning that we need to restructure our mind. To change a society, you need to change the way they think. And we need to begin to change the way we think, by having this conversation on radio, on television, and other means of once we get a critical mass, of supporters, then it will be easy to change. We need to begin with our mindset to begin to reconstruct the way we think.
So, and having that right mindset does not suggest you're going about a national conference again. You don't need that.
No, we don't need to. Need to. All we need is a handful of 10 people. Maybe, not more than 10 people to turn this country around.
Okay. Yeah. I thank you very kindly for your time. Thank you very, very kindly, Dr. Austin Nweze. Akin, how do you close?
Yes, I close by what you have just said, and remembering the very good people, and remembering our teachers. Babs Academy lost one of the best minds ever to teach, Mrs. Vera Dikpeolu. She died a day after my election as president of Bausa.
Bausa is a
Baptist Academy Old Students Association. Okay. And
Vera was a good teacher, a great teacher of that school.
Very great teacher, well loved, open-minded. At the age of 31, I mean,
she 79.
She died at the age of 79. And so we commiserate with her.
And
you
the
can
family.
imagine, and the family, back there in Abeokuta, the whole of the Bausa family commiserate. These are the people we should be celebrating.
By the way, do you know an old teacher of the Lagos Baptist Academy remains the late Samuel Ladoke Akintola, Premier Western Region of Yor?
Oh, yeah, Premier. Yes, he was a teacher.
Yeah,
he came as a teacher, and we've had great teachers. These are the people.
Dr. J. Adegbite,
yes,
my principal.
Your principal, my principal, Bureau Corrupt Practices Investigation. He was there, and that's a man that will say, if you brought anybody from Baptist Academy that is corrupt, he was going to resign.
Ooh. Did you find any?
We didn't find any.
Or until now, perhaps.
Until now, perhaps, where we have politicians, dotting our
landscape.
spaces.
Yeah. Okay, but that's not to say that you do not underscore what Gowon is saying. Nobody says it cannot be a particular line not to two, turn by turn, even as you look at
merit by merit
and by
to
merit.
make sure that we have all inclusion, we have equity, we have equality, and we are fair to all concerned. We bring in capacity, we bring competence, we bring in character, and we bring a consciousness of thinking of the other person before ourselves.
All right. Let me thank you very kindly for coming. The name is Akin Fatunke, Chartered Accountant, Public Affairs Analyst, and Dr. Nweze, Journalism Scholar, Politician, Economist, a Public Affairs Consultant. That will just about do it for today. But we will go now, not before thanking Yahya Aliu and Sam Manwa, the gentlemen who made it possible to get to hear us. The contact man and more so the marketing man is ID John. Get ID John on 080-2333-4386. Again, 080-2333-4386. We're out of here for today. We'll be here tomorrow. Bye-bye now.
Radio Now, 95.3 FM Lagos. We go beyond the news.